Gentlemen, this is for all you single guys out there. You're on the lookout for that special someone and you want to grab her attention, but all the women that you're speaking to just seem to pass you by. So in order to help you chaps out, to get those passing women to actually stop, pay attention to you and actually fancy you, this video is going to be perfect for you. Women are generally confusing creatures, so I've had an ask around my female friends and my girlfriend, what things make them fancy a guy? And I've condensed these into 5 things that will make women fancy you more. The first thing that will make more women attracted to you is smelling nice. And the fact of the matter is, it must be half of men just smell like crap. They've got too much body odour, they're not using any sort of fragrance, they're not washing themselves regularly enough. So if you want to put yourself at an advantage, then you need to make sure that you're smelling nice. And there are tons and tons of fragrances out there to try. It's difficult to know which ones work. If you want my best personal recommendation when it comes to smell, the Chanel Allure Homme Sport is expensive, but this one gets me far more compliments than any of the other scents that I actually own. And then when it comes to other stuff like showering and washing your hair and body regularly, brushing your teeth, making sure your breath smells nice as well, this is all a part of the scent game. And more than anything, it's personal hygiene, because how do you like it if you're sitting on a bus and then some sweaty person who hasn't used antiperspirant with disgusting breath has to sit next to you and you're there holding your nose for the entire journey? That's something that women don't want to have to do if they're going on a date with you. The second thing that will make more women fancy you is improving your footwear and accessories. Now when it comes to shoes, this is something that people seem to disregard all the time. They'll have a generally quite good outfit and then they'll have shoes with holes in, disgusting dirty shoes, things that don't go at all with their outfit. Yeah, and sure, your shoes may be on the feet, but this is one of the first things that women actually seem to acknowledge and look at. And believe me, you can ask pretty much any woman and she will say that the shoes are one of the first things that she'll actually look at in a guy. Now I'm not sure exactly why this is the case, but if I was to hazard a guess, I'd say that looking at your footwear, she's going to have a look at the quality of the footwear and the style of the footwear as well. And then she's going to make judgments on these two things. As humans, we're very judgmental, so if she can see that your shoes are battered, maybe they're really childish trainers and you're supposed to be on a night out, she can jump to conclusions. So make sure you got yourself some really nice shoes, but also you've got to keep an eye on your accessories as well. Now this is something that I personally struggle with myself. I've got really slim wrists, but I see lots of other guys wearing massive, bold, chunky watches, things that look like they're about to go mountain climbing in. You don't need to go for anything super big, bold, flashy or anything like that. Clean and simple is often the best thing when it comes to accessories. My girlfriend recently bought me this really lovely watch for my birthday. I don't know if you can get a better view of that, but for me, I will need to get a couple of links taken out of this, but it's still simple and clean enough in their design to look good. You don't need to go out there and buy like a Rolex or a fancy necklace or finger bling. You don't need to do any of that stuff. Just keep it clean, simple, and it's got to aesthetically look nice as well. And if I was to offer you one shoe or accessory, in this case it's going to be like a boot that you guys can wear that women generally seem to find looks nice, I'd go for a desert boot. The third thing that will make more women fancy you is your ability to socialise with lots of different women. And this is especially useful if you're on a night out. So let's say you spot someone that you find really physically attractive and you want to attract them. Sometimes one of the best things to do to make yourself look like you're sort of one of the alpha males of the room is to communicate with lots of the different women that are already in the room. And in this situation, having female friends can actually prove quite useful, because let's say the attractive woman that you've seen is seeing you talking to several different girls, she's going to assume that they find you attractive. Because if we spun this round the other way and we saw her talking to lots of different guys, that's going to alter our perception. We're going to think that she must be even more attractive because all these guys are talking to her and they must all be interested, surely. And she doesn't have to see you massively flirting or kissing these other girls. That's not what I'm saying here. But if she can just see that you're a sociable person, that you're willing to talk to women, you're confident talking around women, and that these women seem to want to talk back to you, that must mean that you're an attractive guy. The fourth thing that will make more women fancy you is being determined and having a drive to succeed. Having that true inner drive and confidence is key. Most women, and this is especially the case with slightly more mature women, maybe over the age of 21, they're going to want to see that you've got a plan for the long run. That you're going to be reliable, financially secure, mentally secure, that you are confident about yourself. So that if something did go wrong in the future, then you'll be able to cope with this and move on easily. And often this can mean the difference between her taking a chance on you and not. And this is especially important when it comes to like career goals, because if you're stuck in a dead-end job and you don't have the motivation to want to improve your position, to want to get a better job or create a career for yourself, she's not going to think that that's very impressive. And also, it gives you less to actually talk about with her as well. And the fifth and final tip that will make more women fancy you is being happy in yourself and not coming across as desperate. And this is one of the things that I see most often. These guys who are just absolutely desperate, they will hump anything that moves. They'll take whatever they can get, and this is not the right attitude. If you're so dissatisfied with yourself that you're willing to accept any woman, you're gonna, take any woman, any opportunity that you can get, the woman that you're actually after isn't gonna feel very valued. More and more guys these days are just overly concerned about their portrayal on social media or even in person, and they sort of have this persona about them which actually blocks women off. Generally, I find that women will actually like a guy who can sometimes make fun of himself a little bit, someone who's a bit more relaxed and not sort of tense all the time. And male depression is massively on the rise, and it's the #1 biggest killer in the UK, at least for men, I think under the age of 45. So you've got to put yourself first. You've got to be absolutely secure in your own skin about the way that you look, and this is sort of what my channel is really about: controlling your own feelings, enabling you to feel confident about the way that you appear so that you can actually just be yourself. So focus on yourself, chaps, because at the end of the day, you're going to be the only person that's guaranteed to be with you until the last day of your life. So there you go, chaps. That's 5 things that you can implement. Some more easily than others, definitely. We've got different types of clothing stuff and then also different mindsets too. And these things generally work because I've tried them myself after countless failures. But if you think that there's anything that I've potentially missed off this list that I could include, make sure you leave it in the section below. If you enjoyed today's video, chaps, make sure you let the world know by liking the video. And also, if you subscribe to the channel, you get my 3 videos a week. Well, it's actually 2 videos and a full live stream every single week straight to your YouTube feed.